Afternoon and welcome back to the second session of our orientation program. Respected Mishra sir, Dean sir, Mr. Shrikant sir, and all my respected fellow faculty members and my beloved students. So, first of all, I would like to welcome on stage our chief speaker of the afternoon, Mr. Shrikant Sorumpuri sir. I request Mishra sir to kindly accompany sir and take their place on the dais. A very brief introduction about our very dignified speaker of the evening. Mr. Shrikant Sorumpuri has over 20 years of industry experience spanning human resources, operations, and marketing. He's a general manager in human resources at TCS and currently the head HR for Initial Learning Program Process TCS. In this role, he is responsible for the value-based induction of about 30,000 trainees every year. And this program is driven across 6 locations in India. Prior to this, Mr. Shrikant was Regional Head HR for TCS Hyderabad, where he was a key contributor in building the branch from a 4,000-strong workforce to a 24,000 during his 7.5-year stint in this role. On the academic front, Mr. Shrikant holds an MBA in HR and Marketing from Shivaji University. He's also pursuing PhD from the Andhra University. Mr. Shrikant is an active member of the academic advisory boards and governing councils for 7 engineering and management institutes. He is on the executive committees of HYSEA, HR and CSR forums, and NHRD Hyderabad chapter. He's a co-chair in the NASSCOM diversity panel for the Hyderabad chapter and part of the national steering committee for the same group. His commitment to social activities and corporate sustainability is laudable. To name a few, Mr. Shrikant was one of the core team members instrumental for getting TCS Hyderabad the title of Green IT Company of the Year award from HYSEA. We are extremely honored to have your dignified presence amongst us, sir. May we please again have a huge round of applause for all. So I hand over the dice to Mr. Shrikant now as he would like to take the session forward for the afternoon.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for the nice introduction. Before I proceed further, very good afternoon to honorable members on the dais. Dr. Mishra is a name, he's a guru for all of us, and the direction he sets initially is something which he just says it out and it becomes a vision for the rest of his team. And I am fortunate to be interacting with him and his wonderful team for a long time. And I also want you to know that you are very fortunate to be part of a college where things are going to be shaping out so well for you. You may not remember this day of the first 2 days that you have gone through, because as time progresses, every day becomes so interesting that there's so much of learning that you'll have, that you'll be looking forward to a great future ahead. So before I proceed further, I will just try to reverse things, because post lunch, right, I told you I have to keep you people engaged. How many of you are engineers here? Okay. How many of you are BCom graduates? Okay. BSc? Anybody from BSc? Okay. BBA? So what I'll do is, in fact, I wanted to pass on the mic to you all to find out what is it that you are expecting from this session by the end of it. What is it is there something that you would like to know specifically, so that I can turn around whatever I'm trying to share over here based on what you're expecting. So I want you to just open up, speak out, raise your hand, and share what is the expectation that you have.
Hello. Yeah. I wanted to know the scope in the IT sector of HR people right now.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else?
Shrikant, I'm here to take PGDM for HR. So I wanted to know, HR started as an admin person and now we are currently a business partner HR. So I wanted to know what is the future of HR? I mean, what corporates are actually looking from a HR person after we come out from a PGDM program, what they will be actually looking at us. Not as an admin person for sure. Now you already have a business partner in HRs already. So what will be the future look on us?
Hi Srikanth, this is Pavan Prakash. Um, just extending the question here, there are many HRs for a company, in fact, for many of the regions, in fact TCS, and I worked for TCS Nagpur. So what is the scope of areas of work for HR to a specific region? To a specific region, in spite of having many number of head HRs and many number of HRs in a particular group of a particular region, especially in TCS, I mean to say. So this is my question.
Can you just repeat it? It was not very clear.
So you are the head HR for TCS Hyderabad here, and you many of the HR team is working. So what kind of activities, what kind of scope of work that you expect when you recruit people from these schools like this?
Okay.
Hello, sir. I'm Pradipta, and so I just want to know that what are the qualities that you look for in students? That I just want qualities that you look for when you first recruit the students, mainly for the freshers, because I really don't have any work experience, and I really want to know that what are the qualities I have to in these 2 years.
Okay. If you do not have any other questions, I can start off. But if four people have managed to ask questions which were in your mind, then those four are also very, very smart because they have covered whatever you're all thinking.
Good afternoon, everyone. I just want you to share your very first experience in your professional world.
Sorry?
I just want you to share your very first experience in the professional world.
My very first experience.
In the professional world.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. There's somebody there.
Where can I see myself in 5 years as a HR manager from starting? What kind of growth can we have as a HR in the next 5 years?
Okay.
After starting up working and 5 years run, where can we see ourselves? What kind of growth opportunities are available?
Okay. You're talking of in a specific group. You said HR. Okay. Yeah. Just to bring everybody up to speed, I come from a HR background, but what I'm going to share here is not only going to be restricted to HR. Okay, because I know that it's a mix of people who are going to be part of finance, marketing, operations. You are going to be part of various groups. So I thought I'll just share whatever little I know and what I've seen, which could be sometimes somewhat useful to you in future. So I will definitely respond to the HR related queries, but if anybody else has any other questions, feel free.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Sindhuja. Sir, I have a doubt. What is that one thing which we have to do from day one for us to be molded after 2 years?
One thing that you have to do from day one?
Day one. What is that one thing which we have to do? I mean, the efforts which we have to put in from the day one so that we'll be molded after 2 years.
Okay.
Do something worthwhile.
Okay. Yeah, I think we kind of set with. So just to bring you back to the first point I started off was to make it a little more engaging so that you're all awake post lunch. Thanks for that. Friends, I have some very, very senior people around, so I will also have to be cautious while I'm talking, and I'm quite conscious with Dr. Mishra, Dr. Menon, and all the PhDs over here. I'm still a struggling PhD scholar. So I will give you certain incidents or certain anecdotes or case studies that we've seen at workplace, which can help you to understand what is being expected from you when you are completing your MBA. But before all this, I always try to take you back to history and bring you through a small journey as to how all this started off. And I want to take you back many centuries, thousands of years back, when human being was part of being hunters and gatherers. That's how we were all. For our survival, we used to be hunters and gatherers. And slowly, as time progressed, we formed communities. We started living in groups. And then from there on, people realized some skill that they had, and they started making items. And then it moved on to barter system. And then communities became societies. And from there on, people wanted to lead a successful life and started going to cities and forming cities. They used to build cities. And that's where skill came out. Somebody was a carpenter, somebody was a potter, somebody built large palaces. Skill came, and with skill also came issues in a team. It was not so organized and management and all at that time, but it was very similar to people being in groups, working in groups, trying to make a structure and having differences of opinion, and still somebody try to guide them and ensure that the structure comes to shape. Management and people having challenges at workplace was always there in the past as well. But as time progressed and as skills took shape, and then the next big step was the Industrial Revolution. With Industrial Revolution, a lot of, as you know, progress was happening, development was happening. With that, a lot of policies started forming, labor groups started forming, and then management and policies and development started getting visible. And then I'll take you to the next giant leap. The next giant leap was computers and internet, and that changed life. So from that point, from where internet came in, life for everybody across the world started changing. So for people who are of my age group, when I graduated, after I graduated, that was the time when I first had my email ID, because that was just when internet was there. But for you, you grew up with technology. There's a huge shift which you will see at workplace. Why I'm giving this background is, from that internet revolution, there is now another revolution that is completely swept off the world, and that is a digital revolution. I remember when I was a kid, I used to pride myself that we were the only ones in our entire colony who used to have a landline phone. But the flip side to it was, everybody in the colony gave our number, and I used to end up going and calling people that they got calls. Compared to that, it was not very far away. Compared to that, today, it really intrigues me when I see early in the morning, when I'm on a drive or somewhere, I have seen, I tried to take a picture but I couldn't. I have seen sweepers, and it's a common sight today. People who are sweeping the road, talking on the phone and sweeping. Having a phone is no more a luxury. It's more of a necessity. But the way people have adapted to this shift is something which is phenomenal. And that's where you, as a generation which has grown up with technology, are going to see a whole set of people at workplace who are having different backgrounds, who have seen different revolutions in their lives. Probably this is the only time, I was mentioning last time also when I came in here, probably this is the only time in the history of work environment where there are 4 generations of people working. There are the traditionalists, there are the baby boomers. Baby boomers are people who are born after World War. Then you have the Generation X, and then you have the millennials. This probably the only time in the world, because after a few years, once you graduate, it is said that by 2020, there are going to be 600 million qualified graduates in India alone. And you would have just completed you're going to complete by 2020, right? 2019. So And it is said that by 2030, 2025 to 2030, half of the world's population will be people who are less than 27 years old. Half of the world's working population will be people who are less than 27 or 26. And you will be there at that time. You will be leading people by then. Because you would have completed your MBA and you would be in jobs where by the time this kind of a scenario comes in, you would be in roles where you're taking care. As somebody said, 5 years from now, what you're going to be? You're going to be there. You're going to be there managing people by then. But how is it all going to happen? It's not like you get into one room and your level 1 is over, you pass, go further, level 2, level 3. It's not like that, because work and career have a lot of things involved in it for you to grow. So I just want to also add how there's been a huge paradigm shift in the entire format of training that is happening in the world today. You heard of Khan Academy? Anybody has heard of Khan Academy? Yeah? So Khan Academy is by this Salman Khan, not the Salman Khan, the actor, but Salman Khan. You can actually, people, I'm sure all of you are aware, but in case you're not, I would suggest you just do some Googling and find out. Khan Academy was started by Salman Khan, which with a small intention to help his sister who was in another location, who needed some help in some maths, if I'm not wrong, in a particular test that she had to take up in maths. So what he did is he shot a small video of himself answering queries in mathematics and posted it on YouTube. And from there a new revolution started, a revolution of online virtual training. And friends, today as we are speaking in TCS, for the initial learning program that we do for engineering graduates who join us fresh out of college, it is 3 years now. 3 years we have completed, where 100% of the training imparted to the trainees who join TCS for their induction, 100% of their training is virtual. In the sense, there is no faculty walking into a classroom and giving training. It's no more ILT, instructor-led training. It's all virtual. Does that mean that faculty is going to have lose their jobs? No. Faculty's job has become much more complex after we started this, because you have to design videos, you have to enact videos, because we came up with nano videos. Nano video is based on the ability of an individual to accept any kind of a gyan being given from the other side. There's a time limit to it, 10 or 12 minutes. After that, your mind starts wavering. So these are nano videos of 10 minutes or 12 minutes each of a module. And then you undergo that module, there is an assessment. You clear that assessment, you go to the next module. This is basically called gamification of learning. And just like the Angry Birds game and all that you play, if you want to go to the next level, you have to clear the level 1. Why am I giving all these inputs to you? It's because this is what you're going to get into once you complete your MBA. This is what is expected from you to adapt yourself quickly to what is happening around in the world. So most important point for you to know right from day 1 of your MBA is to stay relevant. You have to stay relevant to what is happening in the world outside. You cannot just get restricted to a syllabus or clearing your semester with great GPAs. All that is fine, but you need to know what is happening outside, and you need to start preparing yourselves to face that revolution that is taking place. Previously it was 2 years since the technology was changing. Every 2 years technology was changing, 3 years or 2 years. Now it is on the go. By the time you realize that a particular technology is being implemented at workplace, there's something else that is coming up. And now things have changed to a way where we are talking of agile. Friends, just remember this word agile. Agile is here to stay for the future. Agile is a methodology and it is being used for every concept everywhere. It has nothing to do with technology, it has nothing to do with only software engineers. Agile is a methodology. And you are going to have agile workshops, you're going to have agile case studies. Just mark my words, it's just around the corner and you want to see it. So get to know what is happening in the world to be there along with what is moving fast as it can. Okay, that's the most important thing, is to stay relevant. And then, like everybody else will tell you, I also want to touch upon a few attributes that make a difference. Apart from, doing well in your subject, apart from staying relevant, there are certain things that you need to focus on. And for example, when we come here for hiring, we come to IPE. IPE is one of our, we look forward to coming to IPE to hire from TCS, because we have always had one of the best sets of people who came in our management groups from IPE. So I think thanks to sir and thanks to madam, thanks to everybody here, we have, IPE is very magnetic for us. We keep coming back again and again just to take back people, because a lot of talent being driven in TCS, which we hire from for technology, from engineering campuses, that talent is driven by people who are running the show, and majority of them are from IPE. So you have a great foundation that is already set up. Like somebody said, reaching the top is easy nowadays. Staying there is difficult. So for IPE to stay there, you have to put in a lot of effort, because we will come with a lot of expectations. So when we come here for our hiring, we do a written test, and we check email writing, because there are certain etiquettes that we are looking forward to. Professional etiquette in the way you write emails. Somebody wrote a mail to us recently. Hi, how are you? H space R space U. In an organization, in a professional environment, you are writing to your boss saying hi, HRU. Don't even try to do that mistake. If you write like that, somebody else will ask you, where are you? You will be gone. Because it's not that we try to find faults amongst our colleagues who are not able to have, not displaying basic email etiquette. It is because we are answerable to our customers. Tomorrow you are going to face customer. If you have to write to customer and you end up writing like this, and if customer says bye-bye, we don't want to interact with people who are not having any formal form of communication with us, it's going to lead to a huge disaster, business-wise. So communication, and communication is something which you have seen in your college, your school, everywhere people talk on communication, how you have to improve communication and all. So I don't want to take too much time on that, but I want to ask just one question. What does a baby do when it is born? What does a baby do when it is born? Cry. Yeah. So we saw in that movie also, right? 3 Idiots. So when the baby cries only, it's born. It's like, there's life in it, right? But what is the baby doing when it is crying? It is communicating to the world saying, I'm on board, right? So did the baby go through a communication skills workshop for that? No need, right? So communication is inherent in all of us. It is already there with us. It's just that you need to utilize it in a particular way, in a particular situation. And from management graduates, it is definitely expected, because you are going to be in certain boardrooms in future. You're going to be making presentations to customer. You're going to be the face of the organization. Whether you're in sales and you're the face of the organization outside, or you're in HR and face of management to the employees inside, you're going to be the face. And there's a lot expected in the way people communicate. And today, things have changed compared to how it was in the past, where there was this very hierarchical format that used to be followed. You write to, if you want to reach somebody, you write to level 1. Level 1 will write to level 2, level 3. It's all gone. People just, it's all email now. Most of our trainees, if they are not happy about anything, they just write to the CEO. Because there's nobody saying that you cannot write. You just write, shoot out. So you belong to a generation where you do not want to wait and follow a whole set of 100 rules. You just want to go there the next level. So organizations are already geared up with that. At TCS, 4 years back, our CEO, Chandra, who is now the chairman, who was CEO with us 4 years back, he said in a meeting which had all leaders in it, he said that 72% of the organization today in TCS is less than 27 years old. 72%, this is 4 years back. 72% of the organization is less than 27 years. So, why should an organization listen to 28% of all oldies when 72% is all youngsters? So, it's time for us to change the way we manage the organization and look at it from the perspective of the 72% youngsters. And that's how a lot of transformation happened in TCS. Likewise, not only in TCS, because I represent TCS, I'm giving you the TCS side of it. All the large organizations have gone through this transformation and many are going through it. In such a transformation, there are some key players. It could be your operations managers, it could be your HR managers, it could be your sales team, it could be your business analysts that you have internally. And why I'm giving these names is because you are going to be part of these groups tomorrow. You are going to be part of the transformation journey of an organization, moving people from a particular mindset to the digital mindset. And it's just around the corner. 2 years will just fly by like this. So the second important thing I wanted to suggest is communication. Okay, everybody just raise your hand. Not that much, this much. Yeah. Okay. Turn it like this. Point your finger. Bring it close. Bring it close. Touch your chin. This is your chin. Almost everybody I saw, they touched their cheek. Right? There could be some smart people who would have touched your chin, but I'm not trying to find fault in who didn't. But this is communication, friends. I'm standing in front of you. I'm just asking you to follow me and touch your chin. And I touched my cheek and you just followed. This is exactly what happens at workplace. There is a herd mentality. There is a mob mentality. Somebody is, even in your campus you will see. When you go for your specialization, I was just talking to sir in the afternoon. When you're going for your specialization, somebody who didn't even clear a particular subject, in the second year he wants to go for that only as a specialization. And he was asked, why did you do it? He also doesn't know, because his best friends are going in for it. Please, you do not belong to this, to our kind of generation where we don't have any clue, we don't know whom to ask. You have everything at the tip of a touch. You just go do some research. You find out, apart from what efforts the organization or the management is putting in. So on this note, I want to tell you one thing very important is, I have been to a lot of campuses, but I hold IPE at a very high level because a lot of groundwork, a lot of homework, a lot of research of opportunities and expectations in the industry have been done by your wonderful faculty here. They do it for you and keep things ready and keep it ready for you to take forward. But somehow students at that stage are not able to realize the effort that faculty are putting in. You need to go that next level. I am coming as an industry representative and nobody asked me to tell this. I am sharing my view because I know what kind of efforts they are putting in. So please respect that and take up a specialization based on what your ambition is and what you would like to do after a few years. You might still be confused, you might still be unaware. It's okay. You have some time, you have a full year. And if I tell you about the opportunities that TCS provides, we hire all the backgrounds. We hire operations, we hire people from finance, we hire people in HR. It doesn't mean that people who have done MBA marketing will end up only doing a sales job. It doesn't work like that in TCS. We are very clear on that. You will have our recruitment team also coming and talking to you after sometime in November. That's when we come here. It's all need based. It's all project based. In an IT company, a person who's done his management, I just don't want to talk of HR now. I keep aside HR. I'm talking of all the other groups. People who have done non-HR specializations, they are taken into roles which are into, we call it PMO, Project Management Office, a business analyst, an operations role, a strategic role. There are multiple roles based on the need that is there in the IT project at that point of time, and we expect the individual to be adaptable enough to take up an assignment. And that is how you learn new things, and it's not fixed that you did something as your specialization, you have to retire in that area. It's not like that. You will have a host of opportunities that are awaiting you. So the third thing that I would suggest to you is to be adaptable, because if you look at the success of Indians across in the world, it is purely because of our adaptability added to our skill that we have, inborn skill that we have. You go to, I can give a crude example, but I want you to know this. There's this place called Amirpet in Hyderabad. So we used to call it USA. It's called United States of Amirpet. You name a technology, you name a course, everything, anything that is being launched in the world outside, you will find it next week in Amirpet. So they are so fast, so adaptable to change, that they are preparing people for the future. Of course, the format that they follow is not acceptable, but I'm talking of adaptability. There are instances of our own colleagues in TCS who, about 10 or 15 years back, who used to be made to sit on a flight and given a C++ book. You just go through it till the flight lands, because the project needs people. This is how most of the IT companies grew initially. Now it's all structured. But 15 years back and beyond that, we used to have pedestal fans. In a large hall, people used to sit and a pedestal fan used to be there, and that too only in front of the project manager, because he's the manager. And the moment he goes for a bio break or for some meeting, he comes back, the fan is gone. It's in some other corner. From that moment where that computer was used by 3 people in 3 shifts, 24/7, to a situation where today a 24-degree temperature is maintained across the organization in all locations, we have come a long way. But it has never been possible without the change that was brought in on the ground by young management graduates. And that is why I am giving these expectations, because the change on the ground is from people, from youngsters only. It is not leader-driven change. I want to give you a small real-time case study that happened about, I think in 2006 or 2008 in the US. There was this project, and the deliverable of the project, it was sometime in September. The deliverable of the project was, the application was supposed to be completed by February. We were in September. Imagine now all of us are in September, and the delivery of the project was supposed to be in February. During the meeting with the client manager said, it will be great if this is given by the year end. Because as you know, in the US, it's a calendar year, January to December. He just mentioned that it will be great if we can complete this by this year end. And he just went off. One of the members in the team was a fresh MBA graduate who's an engineer plus MBA, because that role required that background, and then he was sent abroad because of his very good performance initially. After the meeting, he just sat there and he said, "Friends, I have a small idea." And he had his manager, and there were people on call from India. So he said, "I have a small idea." He said, "Yes, what is it?" He said, "Why don't we all try and do this deliverable by December end, like the way the client expected?" So people started shouting at him. Somebody said, "You don't even have experience, you don't have a clue. It is till February, we are going to bill him till February and we're going to get revenue to the organization. How can you talk of December?" I said, "No, I just got this thought." Then somebody else said, I think we should try it out. And the third person said, yeah, let's give it a try. Within no time, it's the thought of wanting to deliver something because the customer said you should do it by December end, it just caught on like wildfire. And from that day, the customer was not aware. Okay? From that day, everybody in the team, both in India and in the US, started working day in and day out. And on Christmas Eve, just before they all went for their holidays, the manager invited the customer and said, we want to give you a small gift. He thought it will be cake cutting, Christmas is around the corner, it will be some cake cutting and small gift from India and all. He said, and then he revealed, he said, the application which we said we will deliver in Feb as per the MOU that we have with you, because you had mentioned that it will be great if it is delivered by December, we have completed it and we are presenting it to you. The customer was completely floored. It is a loss of revenue. But you know what it brought in? That customer is still with TCS and they will never leave TCS. Because they have got what they wanted and it's the trust that they have built with us. But what is why am I giving this example is because that the success of that project was because of a situational leader. And that situational leader is that young management graduate. So friends, when you get into an organization, when you get into your profession in future, leaders are not people who have grey hair and who've been there for 30 years in the company and all. It's not there anymore. Leaders are people who take that step, go that extra mile on the ground at that moment. So that is what is the expectation from the industry, from you. Being a situational leader. And you may not have an opportunity all the time, but whenever it is there, don't even wait. Just go for it. So apart from communication, adaptability, staying relevant and being a situational leader, the other thing that we expect from people is honesty. Honesty is such a strong weapon. You will not believe the kind of success it can take you to. I just want to give an example. If you're going in your vehicle, if you're driving your car and you're going in your car, you see a red signal, you stop your car, right? So let us say that is honesty. You're going on the daytime, you see a red signal, you stop your car at this red signal, let us call it honesty. But you're going in your vehicle at 12 in the midnight and you see a red signal. If you stop your car at that time, that's integrity. And integrity doesn't have some police around, or integrity is something that comes from you here. So honesty and integrity, that's why always go together. So wherever you are, ensure that you feel that you are at that 12 o'clock midnight and you see a red signal, you stop your vehicle. If you have that kind of a work ethic towards when you're working, be honest and have that integrity in you, it will take you great places. And that is the scope and that is what people look at from management. And these are things which will not just get visible. These are things which will happen as and when you're working. At different stages, there will be certain situations which will bring out these attributes that we expect from you. And then, keeping the digital revolution in mind, okay, I just want to ask, GBS, Uber, Airbnb. I'm repeating again. GBS, Uber, Airbnb. What is special about these three companies? Sorry?
They started with a different idea from the reality. Actually, how their companies.
They started with a
different idea.
Okay.
Actually, for Uber, the cab system was different before, but Uber it is exactly different. They created the mobile app, And the Airbnb, they have created the hospitality. Their idea was different in the airlines. And it started with a few members actually
Okay.
in the beginning.
Okay. Good effort. Yeah. Somebody here.
Sir, I don't know about the DBS, but I know about the Uber and that what he just said, Airbnb. So I think they have understood the public demand, that what the public, searching for, what are the things that are not here at least now, and they just try to implement it. So
Okay.
it's quite an innovative idea.
Okay. Thanks. Good effort, both of you. Just want to share. Development Bank of Singapore is one of the fastest growing banks in the world today. Uber, as you know, is the largest cab aggregator in the world today. Airbnb, for people who are not aware, it's Air, B, alphabet N, B. That's Air, bread and breakfast. So you can travel any part of the world today at a very low cost, because the theory is that when you travel, you go to a place like Paris or some place, London. You just take a bag with you, go to a place where you have a bed and you're given breakfast in the morning, and then you hit the road and go and travel and come back again in the night. These three organizations are one of the fastest growing organizations in the world. Uber does not own a single car of their own. Airbnb does not own a single hotel room of their own. But they are the fastest growing organizations in those sectors. What does it mean? It has a lot of meaning. As I started off saying, stay relevant. You need to stay relevant to know what is happening in the world outside, because these are the new age companies of the world where there are no policies. Uber, a very close friend of mine, he joined as head of HR. He moved from Google to Uber. And then I was asking him, what are the policies you're forming? He says, I moved from a company called Google where there were no policies. It was all trying to make policies on the go. And now I am moving to an organization, Uber, which is absolutely much more primitive compared to Google in the form of policies. But they have got some great ideas that they are rolling out and surviving. So why I'm giving this example to you is the future is all about such organizations. The future, many of you might be part of these organizations because they are going to hire big time. All these organizations are hiring, and Development Bank of Singapore, I will introduce you to the HR head who sits, Darshi. She sits here in Hyderabad. She will very soon, I can request her to come here and spend her time. You will be amazed to see their journey. The way they are growing, the pace at which they are growing. So they want people who are going to be at that pace with them. And that is why reading what is happening outside in the world beyond your syllabus is important. So some of these attributes I'm just touching upon. It's too early for you. You just started off. Yesterday you started off, and today you're just trying to learn new things. But keep this always in the back of your mind, that the day you, like she asked a question, what should we do from day one? Have that passion that every day before you hit the bed, you should be asking yourself. Don't ask anybody else, ask yourselves. Did I get to know at least one new thing today? Because you are going to lead people. You're not going to learn and wait in large groups. You're going to be put there. It's a plug and play outside today. For management graduates, it's plug and play. There is an induction. In TCS, as I said, for engineering graduates, people who pass out from engineering, the initial learning program is a 60-day curriculum. 60 days spread over weekends comes to 3 months. For the HR induction, we call it pit stop, or the non-HR, all the other MBA induction, it's 10 days. It's just 10 days. So you can see the difference. There is an expectation right from the moment of induction that these people are already well versed with they're coming with a lot of a bag full of knowledge, and it's just they're raring to go and start rolling out, working. So we are not trying to teach you new things on day one. No organization will teach you. It will wait for you to be ready to just final polish that we want to give you, that finishing touch that we want to give you, because you already got transformed over here in your respective colleges, especially in IPE. You would have been shaped into, being ready for the industry. We just expect a final polish which is organization centric that we do when you come in. At the end, I would like to say that you be authentic, you be yourselves, don't try to put on what you're not. Try to learn something new. There is this app called Duolingo, Duolingo, because you will be downloading a lot of apps. Please download Duolingo, Duolingo. Okay, it's an app. It's a free app where you can learn a foreign language. Any foreign language you choose. It's a free app, and every day you can just do one small module. Within no time, you will have a foreign language with you, and there is no certification, no exam. This is just a small gamification of learning that I told you. Every day, one sentence, and then you pick up on it. You will not realize in a span of 1.5 years or 2 years, you will become a master in a particular language. You may not know when it will help you, but any learning will not go waste. It will always be with you. When you go for your interviews, you will show a French or a German or an Italian or a Spanish on your resume. People will be definitely wanting to see, wow, you did something more than what is expected. That's exactly what we look at. Then, extracurricular activities. There are a lot of workshops that happen here. There are a lot of fun events that happen in IPE. I would strongly suggest everybody to participate. Either you participate in the form of organizing it, or performing, or writing a paper, or representing the college. Winning doesn't matter, participating does at this stage. Because when we hire people, we ask specifically what all did you do beyond your curriculum while you were doing your MBA. And that is because these are areas where you work as a team. So any cultural festival or an event that is happening leads to a team being formed. You have done it in college already in your graduation. There's a team, there is a think tank, there is somebody will go for sponsorship, somebody will sit and design the whole thing, somebody will perform. So all this is part of being in a team, and that's exactly what you will be doing at workplace. So these are moments which will bring out the team member in you. There will be fights, there will be discussions, arguments, but at the end of it, that day when that particular program was to happen, will happen. That is in workspace, it is delivering of what is expected. Come what may, there will be fights, there will be a lot of things that may happen in the back end. But on the day of performance, you will have people performing. So that's what matters. At workplace, performance to delivering what is expected is what matters. So whatever happens in the back end, you have to look at it as a learning. It's not a full stop. No, I'll never do this again. It's not like that. It's a learning. A failure is an experience which will give you a learning for the future, not to repeat it again. So when you are in any field, so because some questions were on HR, I want to tell you that just as how you're going to read in your books of various groups in the HR, in TCS, I'm not here to sell TCS to anybody. I'm just sharing what we see. I'm fortunate to be part of the 2,500 plus HR officers that we have in the organization, where we have been exposed to various initiatives and policies that are being driven for the close to 4 lakh employees that we have globally. And one of them is, one of the HR team members in the organization is missing, and that person is sitting in the audience today because she wants to complete. She's worked and taken a break. She is an example of people who can, as per our policy, work for 2 years or 3 years. After you work for 2 years, you're eligible to take a 2-year break for higher studies. And then join back with this additional degree, and your job, your role, your grade, your salary everything changes because we would like to respect what you have learned. That's a policy that we have. So when you are in the organization, right from you will have after some time, I have been actually, this whole visit has been facilitated by from TCS, the academic interface program team. There's this team, and then the next set of people will come, the campus recruitment team. After the campus recruitment team, after the selection that is over, when you join, the induction team will take over. After the induction, then there's a staffing team, putting the right person to the right job. They'll take you into the staffing assignment. From the staffing team, the individual moves to the project. Over there's a project HR. And then there are people who conduct a lot of events, employee engagement activities. Then there is an employee welfare team, so employee benefits team. So as somebody asked, what all are the things that I can do in HR? It's a journey of every 2 or 2.5 years that it is mandated for us to move people from one role to the other. Because over a span of about 8 or 10 years, this individual should have seen a few departments in his career, so that when he becomes a manager, he should be able to handle people from various backgrounds. So likewise, in all the other functions also we have this opportunity. And as before I conclude, I want to tell you that bottom line is about how you present yourselves, the authenticity that you exhibit and display at various situations. Subject will automatically come. Your faculty, you be rest assured, you've got the best faculty with you. Subject, they'll take care. But you as individuals have to be aware of what is happening outside. You should be able to present yourselves in a particular way which is going to be acceptable by people wherever you go. It need not be IT or non-IT, or it's an industry, it's a job outside. Any employer who comes to you should look at you, talk to you, and within 5 or 10 minutes you say, wow, I want this person in my team. To create that wow effect, you ask yourself, when we normally ask people, we'll say, how are you? And the person says, I'm good, or I'm fine, right? That's what we normally say. Just think of it, when somebody asks you, how are you? And you answer, I'm excellent. It's not easy. Just try it out when you're alone or when you're together. How are you? And excellent. Excellent. To say excellent, it takes a lot of guts. Because you say it when you mean it. And I am confident that I have excellent managers of the future sitting in front of me. I am confident about it. Yeah. And likewise, people who are from your management, from faculty, they also are seeing that spark in you, and that's why you're here. But the spark has to be glowing much more. Like these lights that are hitting me from that time, they should be glowing much more. But you should be also ready to take up activities, do stuff which you have never done before. There is this, I was mentioning last time, there's this adult literacy program. Maybe Savita, you should be sharing that with people. This is adult literacy program that we drive from TCS. It's a free software because you are in, quite cut off now, and you have a lot of independence here. You might be having your housekeeping staff or people who are gardeners or anybody who is an illiterate person. Identify about 20 of them. This is a free software. 40 days of 1 hour per day. You show this, these videos. It's all about videos and learning by animation to these illiterate women. Identify about 20 women. 40 days, 1 hour per day. You form a group and you train them. 1 hour per day, 40 days. At the end of 40 days, those women, you will not believe, those women at the end of 40 days can read a newspaper. These are people who have been illiterate all their lives. They can read a newspaper. They can sign on a check. When they go to a vegetable market, they don't have to ask people what is the cost of so-and-so. They'll look at the board and understand. They go to a railway station or a bus stand, they don't have to ask people which bus or which train goes to my village. They know the time, they'll go and see the timetable. It takes people to that level where survival is managed. If you take up that as a social cause amongst yourselves, because it is during your off time, over just about 40 days. There's a lot of, it's very fulfilling because you're giving back to society, and in the process to teach, you have to prepare. You will prepare, you will teach. When you teach, you will also realize the importance of teachers around you. Your respect towards your teachers will increase. And finally, you're making a difference to another person in the world outside. And it's a free software. So think about it. Think of doing stuff which you have done, which you have never done before, or which you have just started, where you can maybe accelerate it over here. So these are some of the thoughts that I thought I should share with you, and I hope whatever I have covered has answered your queries. If I have missed out, please let me know. I can try and respond. So that's a word from my side. All the very best. And I'm sure, at least, I don't know how the numbers will be in future, but we keep saying that in TCS when we go for hiring, we go in a bus and come back in a train. The kind of numbers that we hire. So hopefully, like always, we will be getting large numbers from IPE when you pass out as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing the golden moment work with a few of you. And I feel fortunate that I've worked with some excellent managers. All the very best.
The evolution of how skills management and the entire corporate started, from hunters to the digital revolution, from staying relevant to updated, to building that agility and instigating the dynamism, integrity and honesty, and pushing us beyond the books, making us push the limits beyond the syllabus. Thank you so much, sir. It was an absolute honor having you here with us, and I request Bhavni to present a small memento. I request Mishra sir to kindly do the honors. Thank you, Bhavni. Thank you so much, sir.